An ordinary day transformed Elon Musk at McDonald's. It was an unremarkable afternoon in a small-town McDonald's, a place that had become a familiar pit stop for local first responders. Police officers, firefighters, and paramedics often gathered here to grab a quick meal, recharge, and share lighthearted banter before returning to their demanding duties. The scene was tranquil, with the usual soft hum of conversation blending with the occasional clatter of trays. For the first responders, this was one of the few moments of respite in their otherwise chaotic schedules. Little did they know that this ordinary day would soon transform into an extraordinary event that none of them would forget. The lunch rush had subsided, leaving the dining area sparsely populated and the mood relaxed. It was a time for camaraderie and reflection, a pocket of calm in their hectic lives. The restaurant's automatic door chimed softly as it opened. At first, no one paid much attention. Customers came and went as they always did. But as the figure who had entered moved toward the counter, a ripple of recognition began to spread through the room. He was tall, casually dressed in a plain t-shirt and jeans. Yet, there was something unmistakable about him. An air of quiet confidence, an aura that seemed to command the space without demanding it. It took a moment for the realization to settle, but when it did, whispers began to circulate. "Is that Elon Musk?" An EMT murmured to a colleague, her voice tinged with disbelief. Her colleague chuckled, shaking his head dismissively. "No way. What would Elon Musk be doing in a McDonald's in the middle of nowhere?" But as more heads turned, the whispers turned into certainty. The man at the counter was indeed Elon Musk, the visionary billionaire known for revolutionizing industries with Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and more. The room, once filled with casual chatter, now buzzed with excitement. Phones discreetly emerged from pockets as patrons attempted to capture the surreal moment. Musk, however, seemed completely unfazed by the attention. He stepped up to the counter, smiled at the cashier, and placed his order with the ease of someone who had done this 1,000 times before. "I'll have a quarter-pounder with cheese, large fries, and a Coke," he said, his tone warm and unassuming. Then, with a playful glint in his eye, he added, "Oh, and can I pay with Dogecoin?" The cashier blinked, caught between surprise and amusement. She managed a nervous laugh and replied, "Sorry, we only take credit cards." Musk chuckled, handing over his card. He moved aside to wait for his food, seemingly oblivious to the growing wave of astonished stares around him. The room had shifted from disbelief to a palpable sense of awe. One firefighter, unable to contain his curiosity, finally mustered the courage to approach Musk. "So, what brings you to a McDonald's out here?" he asked, his voice tinged with a mix of nervousness and excitement. Musk looked up from his phone, smiled warmly, and shrugged. "Sometimes you just want something simple," he replied. Then, with a playful grin, he added, "Besides, McDonald's makes a pretty good burger." The firefighter chuckled, and with that, the ice was broken. Suddenly, Musk wasn't just a billionaire or a tech mogul. He was a guy having lunch like anyone else. The mood in the room lightened as others began to approach him, their initial hesitancy giving way to genuine curiosity. A bold firefighter couldn't resist asking, "So, what's next? Another rocket to Mars?" Musk laughed lightly, clearly accustomed to such questions. "Actually, yeah," he said. "We're working hard on making that happen. But today's just about burgers." His down-to-earth response elicited laughter, and soon the room was alive with conversation. Musk's presence, rather than intimidating, had become a catalyst for connection. From a nearby table, a paramedic called out, "How do you manage it all? Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and now X? Do you even sleep?" Musk chuckled again. "I get that question a lot," he admitted. "Yes, I sleep. Not much, but enough. When you're passionate about what you do, you find the energy. But honestly, I try to keep things simple when I can. Today, I'm just here for the burger." The room erupted in laughter, and what had started as a quiet afternoon in a small-town McDonald's had transformed into an impromptu Q&A session. Musk answered every question with sincerity, sprinkling in humor and insights along the way. A police officer, clearly amused, joked, Ever thought about opening a Tesla drive-thru? We'd save a ton on gas. Musk grinned. Hey, you never know. We're always exploring new ideas. Electric fast food joints might be the next big thing. As the laughter subsided, a firefighter posed a more serious question. Do you ever think about how your work impacts people like us? He asked, his voice thoughtful. The things you're doing, rockets, electric cars, AI, how do they affect what we do on the ground? The room fell silent. It was a question that carried immense weight, coming from those who faced life-and-death situations daily. These weren't just fans or enthusiasts. These were first responders whose work relied on technology to save lives and protect communities. Musk paused, his expression reflective. He began slowly. I've always focused on the future, on creating things that push society forward. Space travel, sustainable energy, AI. But seeing all of you here, it strikes me that the future isn't just about technology. It's about people. It's about ensuring that what we create supports the ones who work hardest to protect us. His gaze swept across the room, lingering on each individual. I've always believed that technology can transform lives, he continued. But seeing all of you reminds me that no matter how advanced our innovations become, it's still people. People like you who are on the front lines ensuring the rest of us are safe. His words hung heavily in the air, resonating deeply with the group. For these first responders, who were accustomed to polite nods and cursory thanks, Musk's acknowledgement felt profoundly genuine. A firefighter, visibly moved, said, "We just do our jobs. Sometimes you wonder if it really matters in the long run. We don't build rockets or change the world like you do." Musk shook his head firmly. "You're wrong about that," he said, his voice resolute. "What I do wouldn't mean anything if people like you weren't here to protect us. What you do is just as important, if not more." The room was silent, the weight of his words sinking in. Then, as if struck by an idea, Musk pulled out his phone and began typing rapidly. The room watched in silence, unsure of what was happening. "All right," he said after a moment, slipping the phone back into his pocket. "It's done." He looked around at the astonished faces and explained, "I just donated enough to provide new equipment for every fire station and police department in the region. Whatever you need, consider this my way of saying thank you." The room erupted in astonished murmurs. Some first responders exchanged incredulous glances. Others quietly wiped away tears. Musk's gesture wasn't just generous. It was transformative. It meant these individuals could perform their duties with the assurance that they had the best tools available to protect their communities. One paramedic, her voice trembling with emotion, said, "You didn't have to do that." Musk offered a gentle smile. "No, I didn't have to," he said. "But I wanted to. What you do matters, and if I can help, even in a small way, I want to." As he prepared to leave, the room erupted into a heartfelt round of applause. It wasn't just gratitude for his donation. It was appreciation for the acknowledgement and respect he had shown. Musk paused at the door, turning back to the room with a reflective smile. "Honestly," he said, "I came here for a burger, but I'm leaving with much more. You've given me a lot to think about." With that, he stepped outside and disappeared into the afternoon. The first responders watched him go, their lives forever touched by the encounter. What had begun as an ordinary day had become a moment of profound connection. A reminder that even in the most unexpected places, understanding and mutual respect could bridge worlds.